Hi, everyone. This is the last session of SIGEF 2021, the 11th edition of the Social Innovation and the Global Ethics Forum. We are live and streaming in more than 50 countries and delegates from around the world. It is my great privilege to welcome today two very inspiring personalities, each one of them very specific in their field of actions and empowerment. First of all, we will have a conversation with His Eminence, the Admiral of Malta. And the Admiral of Malta is a direct descendant of the line of Aaron, the high priest of the Jewish people. And the Admiral of Malta is widely considered on many jurisdictions for his spiritual contribution to serve to building better and more harmonious conditions and more sustainable conditions between people around the world beyond their religions or ethnicities. So we will have the pleasure to start with this conversation, and after that conversation, we will have the conversation with André Bruguiru. André is a man that I call, like anthropologist and someone that is having discovered many, if not all, people around the world, because he traveled in every country of the world. And met, on the ground, living with the people on the ground. So he will be able to share as well his perspective on links and relations and what can unite us as humanity and people around the world. So thank you very much to both of you, and we can start now the conversation with His Eminence the Admiral of Malta. Dear Admiral, it's a pleasure to welcome you today. Everything starts sometimes by a beginning, and you have been contributing to spirituality, development, and empowerment across the world. But first of all, our audience would like maybe to know how did it started? How did you had this vocation and a gift for sharing a new perspective in spirituality and ways for humans to look at themselves in a way which is different than the consumer society is walking toward us?
First of all, we have to understand, with God, present light of God, mankind, and religion. In my opinion, all the religion is good religion, but the best religion is first of all to be a good person. God never invented the religion, mankind done it. Just give 10 commandments in order that we'll have order in our mind and go in the way of the light and protect ourselves. So your question, how I started? It's coming to me, like something engaged in me. Engaging in me and change my vision of understanding. And the most important what I have is to understand that the journey is more important than the goal to achieve. You live the life with passion, with power, and you do not know what's going on to be. People, God created this world that mankind continue the creation of God. What mankind doing? Killing each other and destroying the planet. And in 100 years, who will be here? So my question was, if we have to die, first of all, why we have to born? Okay? Because what world is it? War? disease, jealous, hate, and then we'll die. So it's something to make a balance in the world, because nobody believed could be change in the world. Everybody say, of course, it has to be good, it has to be nice, it has to have light. But we live in a box, a darkness box. We have to make holes in order that the light will come and make a big wake up for everyone. We have to be like the flower. Why a flower? Because flower will open just to the light. In the night, it will close. So what is the most important that can cure this world and make good balance? Is unconditional love. Unconditional love is the only thing that can cure. I love the flower. That the flower loves me? I don't know. But why I cannot love the flower? That's because I love the flower. So this brings me in some point in my life, and already I'm more 70 years old, and my life was changed in many ways. And I put myself in a way and in a light to see how can I, with the power of God and power of people, and with love and kindness, to bridge between the past to the future to the present time. Because the past is history, the future is mystery. We have to live the moment, the present. I must say, live the moment, because life is too short to live them. Let's live. This brought me to the way to see, because we have to think. We cannot just born, live and die and do nothing. We have a mission. We have to be with the compassion and do something for that, to show the world. The main thing that Asmo is doing is curing people in the world with love. Of course, the power to give is the power to receive. It's very important to make life better, to help each other, to go ahead, to walk on the bridge and make a good balance between mankind before it's too late. This is the reason I choose to go to this journey and leave many other things that was more easy. And I'm very happy. The happiness is the most important quantum that exists, but people do not appreciate it. People think, what was, I was before, what will be in the future? Who cares what will be in the future? Important is now, live the moment. Do whatever you want now, today, and don't leave it to tomorrow. Otherwise, peace will never be. Just hate. We don't want hate. We want love. But about this, we want unconditional love. I love the love that I love. It's better than I love. I love to love. This is more beautiful. We have to love the love, and mankind have to have the balance to understand that it's not important who you are and how you are. What is important is your happiness between you and what is around you, surrounded you. This is my answer about that, in my opinion. You have another question? Because I have to smoke cigars. Tell me.
Yes, we are here. We are here for that. Thank you very much, dear Admor. So you mentioned about spirituality, and you mentioned about spirituality as a platform, a vector to convey this energy. Could you tell us a little bit more about what is spirituality in your perception? How can, through spirituality, we can reach an aspect of universality? Because as you say, it goes beyond the religions or the difference or the box each citizen is. It has, like a common quantum or common, vector to bring the bridges between humanity in that recognition of what you call unconditional love. So, what will be your definition or articulation of what spirituality is and how spirituality is actually bringing or a vector that is actually universal for everyone?
Yes, I understand your question. I'll give you an answer that will be a little bit strange to a lot of people in the world. People think spirituality is like, like to be high, to meditate, to be whatsoever. But spirituality is a very ancient language. The little children, like 2 years, you can see people, children from Japan, China, French, or United States, or Africa, they don't speak even their own other language, but they have communication. Some energy, let them understand each other without words. This is something that mankind forgotten already. This is technology, ancient technology. This is about really, if you want to know the point of spirituality. So, the spirituality is the mission of the soul, not of the body. The body is just that body. You live the life like machine and then you go. The only important thing is the soul. We are souls. All the souls is like plasma. They control everything. They connect between mankind and other entities. If you want to understand really what is this spirituality, this is the connection and engagement between souls. And this is bringing mankind on the physical body to have some feeling, to see something beautiful and say, wow, to enjoy from every moment they live, to see a flower in some place, small flower that they never have time to look at this, or a smile of a child, or waves in the ocean, or birds in the sky. The most simple thing gives the most happiness. And spirituality formula is the souls speaking with the souls in the same level, and then is beyond religion, hate, and whatsoever other things. This is really spirituality. Otherwise, what is spirituality? Nobody can tell you really what is spirituality. They tell you, yes, I'm making it whatsoever. But this is the connection between the souls of all creation of the divine. This is what I can say about it.
Very, very beautiful, Diadmor, very beautiful. We are living a time where we know the consumer society and our materialistic world is bringing humanity on the verge of tremendous challenge and the risk of annihilation. And the pandemic that we went through shows the fragility of our societies and how everything can change so fast. And whatever we think taking for granted can be actually the next day no more. Would you say that this period that we are living across the nations is actually maybe an opportunity for bringing this perception of spirituality, as you describe it, to a next level, to a level where it will be more spread in people's life and in people's heart and in their ability to walk and think the world of tomorrow, but build it today. What will be your thought about that?
Yeah. First of all, three things to say about that. This what happened with the epidemic, what you speak. You know, mankind have a very powerful strength, and they was very well doing a lot of good things and unity together to help each other in this crisis of the epidemic. It's been mankind have the power had to fight against everything. I don't see any connection really directly between spirituality and complication about life epidemic because in the past was sick, was people were sick and people millions and millions died for many other things, and still we are here. So mankind also can invent, can create, can make a change. If it's medical, if it's technology, if it's whatsoever. Let me tell you, because it depends. In the time of Egypt, they built pyramids, and they have technology, they have knowledge in everything, in medicine, physics, mathematics, geometry. But nobody today can build one pyramid. They used to lift stone of 200 tons so high. Then was look the other time the musician, Mozart, Beethoven, an example, there's another. They create music, amazing. Nobody can do it really today. And they make houses and building, craving. Today, what is it just? What kind of building technology today? Just stones, glass, wood? There's no art anymore. We've forgotten what our ancient fathers used to do. We lose the technology of God. What is telephone? What is nothing? Before a woman in Africa, if the son went to hunt in the jungle 2 weeks far, she telepathy. She has the power to communication. We lose all of that because we don't know why. Because we don't understand that the basic thing, the power of simplicity, is the most powerful power, and to keep the tradition and to keep the love and the creation what God gave to us in the end of the day. And I'm not speaking about religion. Religion, as I say, is another story. All religion is good. Religion is just to be a good person, as I mentioned before. Now, spirituality has the power if somebody understands or believes that he wants to make something different in his life before, and his life will affect the other life, and to work with harmony and love. This is the most important. I think that mankind, with all the complication and evenness that's coming so many times, as I mentioned before, have also the power of love, the happiness, the help. People help each other. Even in the worst time that they don't care, they help. I don't call it spirituality. I call it kindness. I call it something that people start to see and understand the needs of everyone, because if they need, they start to learn the point that if I need, and also if I share, if I have for me, I have also to share. Because you see, I open my hand to give, right? But I have reciprocal to receive also. So this is the most important, to have and to build bridges of love, of understanding. Spirituality is, as I mentioned before, is a little different. It's another thing, another dimension, as I mentioned before. This is what I think about that. Yes.
Thank you, Admor. If we look at how the society is,
How the what? Sorry.
how the society is established, we see that despite the increase of technology, of innovation, of creativity, and despite the increase of the wealth that has been built on man over man, on humans over humans, we still see that actually this is not solving any major challenges for humanity. Humans, we keep being divided, and inequalities are still, like growing. In many parts of the world, the challenges are actually even stronger than before. So what will be maybe your perception or message that you could share with us toward what is the weakness of this system that we are building our society on, maybe, and what can be added or what could be potentially enhancing it to reach a more harmonious status between humans?
This question of you is very complicated. Why? Mankind are mankind. They will never change. They never change because they have the two qualities of love and hate. This is the way we are built, to love and to hate. We love war and we love peace. Everything is mixed together. It's no balance. And if there is no balance, it's very complicated. The thing we are doing is to really prove quality of life to people, children around the world that will have the opportunity, like everyone, like a child in Africa, an example, we say, on some countries that have very low condition of life, they will have at least the minimum things to survive and to live like other in the world. Then the only time can have balance between mankind is that a child is growing, an example in this kind of country, third country, that he see the other ones as educated and have food and have everything, and he grow, he know where, he know have power, no food, his children suffering, his people, his brothers, he create hate. So the only thing we can do, if we can do, is to really take care of the future of the children of the planet. This is the only thing can cure the planet, because the children of the children, they will be the next generation. In 100 years, nobody of us will be here. Maybe few, but most will disappear. Always, but they will go from the physical world. Who will be here? The new generation, the children, like it's in thousands and years and hundreds going same. We have to think about the future. Once I've been in Kobe, I used to live. I went to the mayor house and I saw plans. They told me we have plans for 200 years ahead. I said, what? 200 years from now? We think about what will be there, our future of our children. So the key to cure this planet, if you ask that more, is very simple. It's not religion, it's not money, this is not. It's the power of the society to really make big wake up to say, come on, everybody say people poor, blah, blah, we don't care. But in Africa, till today, an example, children dying from three important things: no medicine, no food, and no water. Why should it be like that, God forbid? Why? Why children from other countries will have everything and other children from other countries, I don't speak just about Africa, and many other places, like I don't want to make name, not to abuse no country, but we know, all of us, what is it. We have the power, and this country have the power, but they don't have the management. Take an example, country that's rich in minerals and so on, and the people starving there because the greed of the people was controlling. They don't care. So who have to care? Who? Who will take care? There's no balance. If there's no balance, there's no peace. If there's no peace, there's no hope. If there's not hope, there's no faith. So what we are doing here? We are destroying our planet for nothing. Everybody speaking about, wow, poor children, poor people, wow, we have to help them. Yes, you have to help them. You have to help them, and then what happened? You don't help. You have expenses of companies, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm saying, I'm sorry for what I'm saying. I don't want just to be tough, but I say, for your question, to answer this, my answer. What we can do, we can start to think what is good for us should be good for others. We have to management the world. God is done all to give mankind the power to be creator. It's like love. Love is question of taste, right? But to create love is art. We have to create something that mankind could have harmony. And this is what I say. Children, number one. The future. Because whatever we do, we can be rich or poor, all of that will go from here. Why people work, war, fighting, killing, taking, greeting, and you don't take nothing with you. Well, you don't take with you one pencil when you go from here. So what? And everybody do not want to believe that he will die, but the people die. I'm sorry to be so tough on this, but I'll tell you with love and with kindness that, in my opinion, even I do not know exactly what your company, what your operation doing, but I'm sure as much I hear a little here and there and read, you're doing good things in the world. And if people like you doing that, it means we have to thank you also about all the effort you are putting to make all these events and all this knowledge to share between people. This is the most important. This is a good work what you are doing. And you know, this me, I was thinking 10,000 times even to talk with you about to talk here, as you know. I wish you good luck, and I wish that people will understand the needs of others, and through your organization, you can bridge between people to make more things, more business, more charities, and more things to make good, to make a difference in this world. For this, I congratulate you, and I wish you good luck, all of you.
Your Eminence, thank you very much for your presence and your passionate and true, we say emet in Hebrew, statement with us today. And we wish you long life, and may we can continue to hear and learn from you. Thank you very much, Your Eminence, the Admiral of Malta. Thank you. Now we can welcome our next speaker. Dear Andre.
Hello.
Welcome. So Andre, we will start in English, but feel welcome to switch anytime, like in your native languages. Andre, you made a choice long time ago to discover the world, to go into that journey that till now continues, and you are one of the very few person, maybe unique, that have traveled all countries of the world, but not just as a tourist, someone that go just on vacation. You live with those people, with all those people, and you had jobs there and life with them and sharing, like their daily life. So first of all, it's a privilege for us to welcome you and to hear your thoughts. And so my first question for you will be, what was the driver? What was the trigger? What was the origin that started and drive your steps toward walking throughout the world and people across the planet?
Well, now I'm at the end of my life, so I have another point of view, different from the start. I think my life has been, I've played my destiny. The art of living is, when we are born, each one of us, there is a dotted line for each one of us, different one. The art of living is to find it. If you don't find it, you don't feel good in life. So it's not easy to find it, find your own corridor, if I can speak like that. But once you have found it, you must walk it. It's not easy either. In my case, I was born before the war. I should say in time of peace, between 1918 and 1939. But I was born in 37, so still peace. Not for long. I left home, I was 17. I had this dream to see the world, but I had no money at all. My father has never been out of his garden, he's a peasant. And in 55, when I left in France, we were not talking about traveling, we were rebuilding the country. Today, going around the world means nothing. You even know with Google what you're going to see before you are there. But in 55, sorry to say that, no phone. In my place in France, there was one phone. One shopkeeper had a phone for everybody in the region. No information, no travel guide like today. So I had no information, no money. I never thought I could see the whole world the way I did. But things came along and I obeyed to my destiny. So first, I spent 7 years learning languages. There's a big problem of language in the world. Then after I worked in different countries to pick up the language, but I went there, I had no job. Fortunately enough, I was 3 years in a hotel school, so that was a help to find a job quickly. So I worked in Scotland for English, Spain for Spanish, Germany for German. Also Germany, I went there to learn the language and to have a look at the enemy. Remember, I was born before the war, so it's different today. The young people don't remember that. And then I went to Italy to learn Italian. Every time I did not know the language, I had no job. I was like a paratrooper. And within 4 or 5 days, I had to have a job because I could not call my father. He had no phone and no money. So it was risky. Then I wanted to learn Russian, but Stalin was there. And in the paradise of the workers, as he called USSR, he did not want one more worker like me. So I couldn't get a visa, could not go there. And I'm furious with them because I have not learned Russian. After a while, I make it short, I land in Canada because I couldn't get a visa for the States, another thing of the visa, you know. And there, I got a job as a translator. I could get only that in Canada, not in France. I don't have studied much, but they give you a chance there. And I realized one thing I did not know, that you can save money quicker than in Europe. They pay you more, and the difference between the cost of living and what they pay you is bigger. And I thought, now I can save the money for my dream to see the whole world. And with the savings of Canada, I hitchhiked 6 years, between 67 and 73, non-stop, every day, sticking my thumb out and spending my money, at that time, $1 a day. Because, of course, I never slept in a hotel. I avoided restaurant, and one word is taboo, is forbidden for me. Taxi, please, no taxi. So that explains the way I travel, and it was very hard. I was put in jail 7 times, for example. You see me, I look like a spy, I look like castrated, you know. I got also very sick, but my idea, what I did, if you look at my map, it's not a circle like today. People go around the world, you know. 1 year. Pescade, it does it in 48 minutes or 80 minutes, I think, with the international satellite. It's more, I want to call what I've done rather a tour of mankind, not a world tour, a tour of mankind. What interested me was not adventure. I was not looking for adventure, but of course, adventure was there, the way I was doing. But I wasn't looking for that. There's no fun in having 5 machine guns in your ribs, a bayonet between your eyes, a revolver in your gun. I don't think it is funny. That's what happened to me. It is even a miracle if I am back. But I'm not looking for that. What I stayed also, I must say, sometime with the hippies in San Francisco in their days. I went to yoga schools in India. I stayed with Buddhist monks in Bangkok. I visited famous Dr. Albert Schweitzer, Nobel Prize winner in Gabon, in the hospital of Lambaréné. There's lots of experience. And most people, when I give talks, they say, but why did you do all that? Well, that's a question I was having myself. Why am I doing all this? I knew I was on the right path, on the right track, but why? Now, the answer came after 15 years. I was born before the war, I said at the start. And I wanted to, it was unconscious, but I wanted to meet all the people of the world to know one thing. Is peace possible? That is the big question, and very few people are interested in that. The first part of my first trip lasted 18 years without coming back home. From 17, I came back, I was 35, 36. One trip. I came back because I was so thin from a dysentery. I could circle my hips. I was that big. It's not good for anybody. Anyway, this part of my life was the university. And some people say, oh, 18 years, you don't learn fast. Okay. But people don't learn during their whole life sometimes. So. Now, the second part, I was furious when I came back. I was sick. I was missing countries. And I wanted to see what was left. And also I was motivated because my conclusion of the first trip is peace possible. My answer is very strange today. Peace is not only possible, it is unavoidable. Peace will come. I repeat, we don't hear that in the media. Peace will come. I know people look at me, they say, this guy has not seen the world. Yes, I've seen the world. Now, the important point is not to know if peace will come or not. The important point is to know how to bring about peace. Let's be practical. Okay? Well, in my case, this is my experience. I found an answer to that. And this answer is working around the world. But very few people talk about this recipe, if I can, this answer. There was in Iran, Persia at that time, in the 19th century, there was a big revelation. The name is not well known, Baha'i revelation. I don't know if you heard that name yourself, Baha'i. I will show the name because it's difficult for English language, French language. Baha'i, I'll show it so people can memorize. Here is the word, you see?
Yes.
Baha'i. So, in this revelation, I would say nothing new has been said. The values, moral values, were given before through the big religions existing already in the world. So, they were just reminding those values. But what is new is, like love one another, it's based on love one another, the whole thing. Religion is nothing else. The rest is the micmac of clergy and all that made a mess, such a mess of this, than people that don't want even to hear the word religion today. They're right. But the society cannot go without the principles, the basic values of religion. Don't kill, don't steal, love your parents, love one another. We cannot do without that. Now, values were given, but what is interesting with the Baha'i revelation is that we have now, it is explained how to apply it. That is important. How to love one another. This is clearly explained. And if I speak about that, it's for another reason. Because the world is such a mess. Nobody can imagine peace today. I agree. But in that revelation, there was it was given to mankind for the first time in the history of mankind. It was given a world administrative plan to administrate the whole world as a single country. And my conclusion is that, and the Baha'i idea is simple, the earth is but one country. And the challenge for today is to unite. Now people are fighting over religions. That's not the purpose of religion, fighting. Fighting is not a religion. What Baha'i explains, Baha'i writings explains, what's the purpose of religion? We have to understand that civilization, to go forward, is like a bird with two wings. There is a material side. When man is hungry, it's better to eat than to talk about good values. When he's cold, it's better put on a coat than talk about philosophy, right? That's the half of the life of man is the material side. The other side is the spiritual side. On the material side, we can note during history that man can find out the laws of science. He's allowed to find them. But on the spiritual side, if you look at history, you see that man does not find the spiritual values that are explained to him by what I call great educators of mankind, what we call briefly the prophets, great prophets. They are there as teachers. They are the teachers that explain man has to be taught. This is the way mankind is going forward. Now, those two wings, science and religion. When I say religion, I mean the spiritual message at the base. Those two wings are never gone together. And that's why the bird does not fly properly. All I recommend, and I will stop on that. So mankind is being taught because mankind is growing continuously. And it's like when we go to school, we don't go straight to university, first grade, second grade, etc. So as we grow up, every year comes a new teacher with a new book, and on and on and on. They're all necessary and good in their own time. Today, there's a new age, we need a new teaching. So the Baha'i faith, if we want to call it like that, is not a new religion, there's only one. But it is this religion of the past, renewed for today. And what is interesting is that the values are given, were considered as adult. Before the religions of before were taught to like children-minded people. It was long ago, so we needed a little story to make understand. But today, we are considered as adult, coming to adult age, and those writings are for adult people. It takes away all the clouds that are in the head of people everywhere. They don't understand the thing. Even the history teacher to me, they don't understand what's cooking. I recommend to read those books, they make it clear. And we have the recipe how to apply it. It's clear for today. We have a general plan. Religions of before never explain how to administrate a country, not even Islam. They don't have that. But for the first time, we have how to administrate the world, to govern. I can tell you that it has nothing to do with our way of doing it today. Because if it was the same thing, I would not even speak about it. We are still going on with electing a president, keeping a king, having a dictator. That's what we've been doing in the past, and we keep on with that. No, that plan is totally different, it's revolutionary. I don't want to enter into that, but when I read this plan, those Baha'i writings, of course, it had this aspiration within me. That's why I accepted it. It's not a conversion, it's just recognize the thing was what I wanted, okay? And I wanted, yes, when I read that, I said, oh, that's the answer. And that's why I was on the road. This was my golden fleece. You know, I had been on a quest without knowing, and that was the answer. When I got that, I changed totally myself. I became this really world citizen. For world peace, we need a man of peace. So we need a different man of today. With the way of thinking of before, we won't build this new one. Those writings allow us to change, to understand what is mankind. And I said, all right, it's very beautiful, but I want to check now if it is working. I'm practical. To hitchhike 250,000 miles, you have to be practical, not dreaming. So I wanted to check. And I must say that this is developing through the world and answering the question. Those Baha'i people are answering the need of today. It is the start, of course. I must say they are being killed in Iran today. Since for 172 years, they've been killed all the time. Even today, there's a fatwa of Khomeini in Iran that says, kill all the Baha'is. 400,000 people are condemned to death. And that's what the government is doing. Nobody is speaking about that. This was disgusting. And those Baha'is, they obey their government. They try to raise their children. The Admor said that we have to take care of children. Of course, a key is education, proper education. Not saying in France that France is the better country. You know, education is the best. And to me, as I say, this has been the answer, and my head is clear. I'm quite happy, and now also I don't want to look utopian. Peace will come. But I got good news for you, Jonathan. It won't come through cleverness, goodwill. There is none left. Now we go into the war. We are going to a catastrophe above imagination. And if you think this pandemic is a big thing, wait for the rest. Mankind needs a last spanking. It's a nice word for it. A last good spanking. And then after that, there won't be any other choice but to go from this cowboy system of today, fighting each other for food, for economy, for everything, for ground. From competition, we have to go to working together, collaboration. And the last word is that we need love, as I said. Voilà.
Andre, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I have one or two small specific questions where we can do, like a little dynamic, like conversation. So, first one, you have traveled the world, and as you say, you were a precursor to travel with $1. Because now things have evolved, since then, like some fashion or whatever. But you were one of the precursor, pioneer of the $1 per day spending. So this is, I want to commend you on that. I think you might check with the World Record book on that as well. Maybe you are as well on that aspect, the World Record man. But one question: $1 per day can only happen through compassion and love that you have received from people on countries you visited. So my question is, number one, as you felt, and have you experienced compassion in every country of the planet by their citizens on the local level? Can you say yes or no on that?
Yes. There is only one human family, one human mankind. When you travel, if you are able to go to the depth of the heart of people, you feel at home everywhere. We know intellectually, we all know there is only one human species. Now, a few nuts, they don't think that, but we know scientifically there is only one human species. My privilege is that I have checked it. This is true. Everywhere, man has got a heart and feelings, every one of us. And we all live together a bit, all of us, between two things opposite, joy and pain. We're all in the middle. Nobody escaped that. There's only one human species, only one. And people everywhere that I've had love from people everywhere, whatever their country, religion, color, background, there's nothing to do. The heart, as I said, to talk properly, there's only one recipe, not to have a good book for traveling. The good traveling is you have to love people. they will answer. If you go to a country as a conqueror, they will shoot at you, of course. If you go as a tourist, they will pinch all your money. Now, if you go as a friend, you'll be received as a friend. That's what I did. I visited my brothers. I wanted to know what life they had, what was the problem, and what connected us. I'm not a real traveler. I am more of a student, but I want to see on the spot. And if I did that on $1 a day with very big difficulties, I think I'm the only one in the world to have done that way. There are lots of people, milliardaires today, they travel, they put their foot in the country, they count it. That's a stupid way of doing, but anyway, the mad travelers. No, myself, I had no choice, but I enjoy that. I'm not saying it was tough. And even when I was in Alaska, below 45 degrees, and no hotel, fancy that. I was playing my life every night. But I wanted to see that was a challenge. I wanted to see if I could do it. But the main thing was to meet people and understand the world.
And Andre, thank you for that passionate answer. Another question.
Yeah.
You have traveled under the skies of all over the world. You have you went through the vegetations and the nature.
Yes.
Across all the world. Have you felt divine presence sometimes, that hand that is protecting you from that cold or that revolver or that illness or that spider or that snake or that whatever? Have you felt signs that were clear? And could you tell us one story specifically? Because I know there are, where you have been saved by the divine presence, the divine force, we can call it God. Could you tell us that? Could you share with us something more personal?
Yes. I like your questions. I wish newspapermen would ask those questions, but they don't. I like yes. What I did is God's plan. It's not my plan. You know, all of us, we are moving arms and legs in all senses, you know? But we are like puppets. I feel we are not. Somebody else is pulling the strings, you see? I just obeyed what was my destiny. When you are in the desert, in Sahara desert, you spend the whole day on top of a truck in the heat, you know, you are so exhausted. You lie in the sand and spend the night there. The stars are so bright. They are the brightest there. But you feel, it's a strange feeling that you could touch God. You know, it's a feeling, of course, nobody can touch God, but it's like you can touch God. Yes, I've had many times. If I stay on the earth, I would say my protection is, some people are going to laugh about that. My Jupiter in astrology is in the house 12. Those who do astrology understand right away what I mean. That means I have a natural protection from big problems. It was at the start within me. I'm like a cat. You throw that cat in the air, it always falls on the paws, 4 paws. That is very, it's good when you travel to know those things, because many places I was very afraid I'm not such a brave man. So I felt, and after that, the second part of my traveling, first part 18 years, and then the rest of my life, to 19, now I'm 83, I've decided to stop. This is done, and COVID and all that, so I stopped now. But I felt, I wanted to see what I've not seen, but I wanted to share my message, Baha'i message, because people are looking for something strong, solid, that makes sense, that is in agreement with science also. Baha'i writings are in agreement with science. Fancy that. Sometimes it looks contradiction, religion and science. The contradiction is not between religion and science, it's between scientists and clergy that does not understand anything. But not the truth has two sides, cannot fight each other. But anyway, yes, I felt this flag, this help. Sometimes in my back, I felt like a hand pushing me towards a place, toward the other, and for the right reason. Yeah, it was very true.
Yes, Andre, I can tell you, I'm 100% convinced that, you know, ones cannot make 250,000 kilometers by foot. You light some candles for your angels and the higher force because they did a very good job to preserve you till this day and hopefully much longer. So you can share with a large audience your journey. Andre, I want to really thank you for what you did because you are a living proof that there is compassion across all continents, in every country, within every people, as you said, whatever the social background. I did not ask you the question, but I think the answer is yes. You will confirm it to me. You saw the love, the universal love, for a mother to their children everywhere. You saw some people that respect nature. I think everywhere. I think that you see, and so all of that is testimonials that we have within ourselves, the denomination for universality. And what you say, and I love what you say, which is peace will come. It's coming. Peace is coming. And so I think we really want to thank you for sharing this very empirical message and experience. And I would like to let you conclude on the last word.
Yes,
which will be your message for the citizen of the world.
Yes,
what will be that
simple.
Andre?
As we said, everybody has got a heart. That's it. But we just have to meditate this last sentence, my conclusion. The earth is but one country, and all mankind are its citizens. That's
Amen.
it.
Amen. Andre Bodiru, was a pleasure, sir, to welcome you. And maybe one day we might, you know, travel together. We will see. around the cup of tea.
You're welcome.
Andre, thank you very much.
Jonathan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Thank you very much.